Welcome back, everybody. This is Into the Verse, and today we got a pretty exciting episode. We are going to talk about combat tactics, touch a little bit on the org side and everything like that. And our today's guest is Wheezy, and let's get right into it. Again, my name is Vintage, and my co-host
This is OG. Bing Bong. This is OG.
Yeah, and then Wheezy up top. Go ahead and introduce
Thanks
yourself.
for having me, guys. My name's
Yeah.
Wheezy90. Friends know me as Wheezy. Gaming in the Verse, Star Citizen. Been gaming with Vintage and OG for a little while now. And some of my main go-to guys playing Star Citizen and other stuff as well.
We definitely had some interesting time.
Wheezy is my boy. I like Wheezy more than I like Vintage. So
well, thanks. So Wheezy, you're prior military, right?
Yep, I was in the Marine Corps for about 6 years.
6 years, cool. What'd you do
thank you, man.
Appreciate the service. What'd you do in the Marine Corps?
I was a mechanic.
Oh,
So 3521, so pretty much worked on the Humvees and 7 tons.
oh
Oh,
wow,
that's cool.
I mean,
Big heavy
mostly
duty.
changing brakes, changing oil, stuff like that. Nothing like stupid crazy.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. How long?
Yeah.
So how long you been back in the game?
Star Citizen, I believe I started back in 2018.
2018
Was my
okay.
official back-end date. Yep, 2018.
Good
Hell
stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What
I've been
are
playing ever since.
been a rough time since then?
I'd say it's been interesting. It's been interesting
He's being
because, like I
nice.
said, no, it's been interesting because I mean I've seen the way it was back then, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And if you have to compare what it was back then to what it is now, even with all our struggles and strifes that we have now, it's come a long way.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember. I mean, I'm sure there's people who backed way further than me, but I remember back when I started, the only spawn point was Port Olisar.
No, really.
That's all you had was Port
Yeah.
Olisar. Were there any?
That's all you had. You didn't even have the option to pick anything. You just got put straight into PO.
Oh, that's
No
nuts.
kidding.
Yep.
Were there any planets in during that time, or kind of explain
Yeah,
like
so
what the
when I-
verse was like? There we go.
Yeah. So when I started, Crusader was there, but obviously Orison wasn't around. So Crusader was there, but you couldn't really do anything there. Yella was not Yella. Yella? Is it Yella?
With Grim Hex.
No. Oh yes. No, sorry about that. So Crusader was there, Lorville was there, and those were the two. Because Microtech came in after I started. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
Crusader,
crazy.
Yella, and Levski on the side over out in nowhere.
Oh
That
wow,
is nuts. See, I wish that I would have found Star Citizen sooner than I
like
did.
way back then.
So I could experience how far it's come as a game. I mean, that's to only have one spawn point and that PO with that is nuts.
Oh,
That's
sorry
definitely-
about that. ArcCorp was there as well.
Oh, okay.
So it was 3. It was Crusader, ArcCorp, and Lorville. It was those 3.
So
Gotcha.
as far as ArcCorp has come along, is it much different than what it was then?
No. I'd say, and out of all the systems, I'd say I've probably seen the least amount of change to ArcCorp
Really?
thus far. Yeah.
That is
Yeah, because they
nuts.
just recently added volumetric clouds over ArcCorp. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
like 318 or 319, whenever it was that they did it. But I mean,
Yeah.
because I know when I joined, like all the planets and the moons and everything were there, but like pretty much nothing had volumetric clouds. I think except for Microtech and Crusader. So like
Yep.
even Lorville's or Hurston's volumetric clouds have been added recently as well. So
I don't know what those are.
big fluffy
I said-
clouds.
I ain't never seen them.
And excuse me, I kept saying Lorville, but I meant Hurston. Yeah.
Yeah, we got you. We know what you meant.
Yeah, we got you.
So what were some of the things that were showcased about Star Citizen that really kind of drew you into the project?
So honestly, I didn't even really know anything about the project. I didn't. I didn't know about it. I knew nothing about it until I was just in the random YouTube wormhole portal one day, and I saw a video from this dude called Rexzilla, and he had a video online, and it was like 50v50 Star Citizen battle.
Really?
And like you open up the video and it's like this dude and he's in a ship with pretty much I can't I didn't count, but he was in a ship with like a shit ton of people, and he's like role playing it. He's like out there being like a drill instructor pretty much, prepping his troops before they go into battle. And then they exit the ship and it's like some D-Day shit, bombs are going off, bullets are flying, he's like yelling shit. And I was just like, what is this game?
What is that, Captain Mountain or something like that? I can't remember his name. He's usually like a Call of Duty content guy. He was Stone Mountain or something like that.
Yes, that's it. Stone Mountain.
You see, I know his YouTube channel is called Rexzilla, but I'm not sure what he's called.
I got you.
Yeah.
No worries.
But then I saw that, and then and then I just pretty much started going down his videos and started seeing all the different videos that he had, and he had mainly combat videos. So I thought this was like a FPS game, right?
Oh, okay.
I didn't at this point I didn't even know about like the spaceship aspect of it yet. Right. Until on his video, I think one of his guys went into like the enemy ship, hit self-destruct, and it exploded. And and then I think just reading the comments, I think I read a comment that said like they could have flew the ship, and I was like, you could fly the ship?
And you're like, that was it, I'm sold, right?
Yeah, and then that was a game changer. I'm pretty sure I looked it up and I backed it like right away. I was like, I'm in on that. As soon as I read that, I looked it up. I did some research to make sure like the alpha was playable, because sometimes you sign up for an alpha, but then it's only like available for like a weekend or certain time frames. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I knew that you could play right now, it was a wrap.
What did you right away. What did you start off with? What ship?
I knew nothing about the ships, so I just picked the one that looked the coolest to me at the time, and I think it was the Mustang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have all done that.
So
that's cool.
Speaking of the ships and whatnot, what now current 319.1 patch or whatever that we're on, what would be your favorite ship in the game so far?
That's a tough one. I think my favorite ship would have to be the Carrack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because it's like a beacon of like hope of like the future, it just gives you it gives you a little piece. So, like if you have a fully manned Carrack, it gives you a little piece of what you could experience, once all the bigger ships start coming in. You have a med bay on there, you have turrets coming up the top, turrets coming out the sides. You could have the snub ships in there. You have a garage in there. That's like a ship you could technically live on with your crew. Yeah. I think that's my favorite ship. Now, is it the most fun ship to me? Maybe not, but it's my favorite ship for sure. Right now, as of right now.
Yeah, you got the best in Chopin for that too, back from the previous IAE, didn't you?
Yep. I had to get it.
Cool.
Yeah. That red, that metallic red, that's probably the sexiest color for the Carrack, in my opinion, so far.
I did not know that.
Well, I think it was, so they did the ship showdown, right? And then if you owned the ship that won, I think it was like the top 4 spots, you were gifted a coin and the paint to go along with that ship, and then you also got like a little tiny carrot figurine or whatever that you can hold right now and decorate something later in life. But
heck yeah.
So you are the lead combat lieutenant, basically, for the org we're in. What are some of the things with combat you find most rewarding and most difficult outside of like 30Ks and bugs and whatnot?
The most rewarding,
Yeah.
I would have to say, the journey. The journey, right?
Of the actual game development itself, or are we just talking about with the org entirely?
With the org, so like in terms of like the ops that we do, right?
Right. Okay.
So like when we're doing an op, like the one that we did where we dropped like 30K from Jump Town in all the heavy equipment, you know, and we're doing we're doing a convoy on the way to the site, and you know we're taking fire. And before we even get to the mission, the actual mission portion of it, just the whole logistics of it, getting everybody on board, getting everybody ready, and getting everybody on the same page, and then seeing all that stuff come into fruition. That's like the most rewarding aspect of it, you know. Like for example, going from where we started, right? When we started in this org, it was pretty much yourself, Demias, me, and maybe like 1 or 2 other people.
Yeah.
You know, going to where we are now, you know, when we host events, we have so much people sometimes we gotta do some extra planning to figure out, you know, where everybody's gonna go.
Yeah.
And then seeing everybody on the same page, working together, you know, we're calling out commands, everybody knows what to do. Especially me and you and OG and some of us who game together more, we're pretty much a lot of the times we're doing stuff and we don't even really have to talk much. We kind of just go off, you know, the way we play. You know?
Yeah.
That's true.
So when I say the journey, that's what I mean.
I got you.
Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. That's probably my favorite experiences with doing like our Tactical Tuesdays, things like that. What is probably one of the most memorable and favorite events that you ever ran for our org that it's just cream of the crop for you?
There's been a few good ones. But I would have to say the one that I just referenced, the one where we did the convoy to Jumptown, because that was the first time we did a convoy like that with like the heavy vehicles, the tanks, the ballistas.
So we had like 2 tanks that go, so 2 Nova tanks, and I know we had a ballista and a Centurion, and they were all pretty much 3 people in each one. Didn't we also have like a Cyclone or something like that, I think? Yeah,
we had the Cyclone, the RN, the Recon. I was in the Cyclone Recon with Crow, and we were scouting out forward.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that was my favorite event, just because, one, that was the first time we were doing something like that. 2, it was pretty cool seeing us doing it for the first time, and everyone was on the same page. We're doing a convoy where, you know, and we set the goal to like where each person had to be within 100 meters of each other, and everybody was kind of adhering to that, and it was kind of cool. You know, we had to actually get, one of the biggest challenges was actually get into the site with the vehicles being undamaged.
Yeah,
you know, that in itself was a journey.
And that was on yellow, so it's all snowy and slippery and everything like that. That was oh my god, that was a trek. And we were
right by the.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you good.
I was saying we was also we partnered up with another smaller org they had a smaller company at the time. I don't know what their actual numbers were, but they had like 5 or 6 people in the air as well. So I mean, we had probably about 20 some odd people, I think it was, all working together. So
Yep.
that was
And then we got to Jumptown, and there were like other people there. There were other tanks on the ridge lines. It was a hot
Yep.
zone.
Yeah.
it was a
Neither of
cluster.
our tanks made it unscathed.
No, I think I got mine all the way there, but it was shortly after that it was done because I know I died one time and had to come back in, but I was in a Centurion. I was in the turret gun, and we were on the ridge line of Jumptown, and the ship was just coming in like full blast, just shooting at the Centurion, and I was shooting back at him, but he ended up killing me. I don't think we traded though.
Right. And even after we were able to secure the site, which we did, we were actually able to take this site. We
Yep.
got nuked by an A2.
Yep, I remember that
We
too.
got nuked by an A2, and that's just fun. That's just part of it, You
It
can't
is.
even be mad at that.
It is. I think one of my favorite kind of like ground combat missions that we did was the tank wars that we did. I think that was
Yeah.
fun. That was fun.
That was
really fun.
definitely fun.
That was a good one.
It was a struggle getting the tanks there because of every time we would go to shoot each other, the main cannons would stop working on one of our tanks.
We did a.
It was
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
there you go. That was it.
Oh, well, speaking of tank wars, they're doing the Tonk Royale with the new arena commander improvements. Now it's not going to be
Yes.
320 right away. I think
Yeah.
that's coming in like a point X patch or whatever. But I'm really anxious to do that because then that'll be a lot easier to deal with than having to sit there and load up tanks and go to a position and mess with all that and
Yeah.
whatnot. We can just spawn in and get right in the tank and go. I think that'll be cool. But
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, though. I think we're onto something with the tank wars. I feel like that's an event that could be way bigger,
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Once we get to the point, because I mean, you look at our Oregon, we have like 8-9 tanks, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get to the point where it's like our org versus like another org,
Yeah.
or imagine that's cool, but imagine like a 3 or 4 man org battle where you have like
Yeah.
4 different orgs like facing off. That would be really cool.
I would enjoy that in the PU, but not in Tank Royale. Tank Royale would just be good for like good practice and things like that for the PU when that comes available and like you're defending like your homestead or whatever whenever that comes out, if it ever does.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know
So-
you had also. Oh,
Go ahead.
my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was moving on. What you got?
Oh, I was just gonna say that I know you had asked that about my biggest frustration with the combat.
I did.
wanted to touch on that one, and I guess this would probably classify as a bug, but I think the biggest hindrance to combat is the desync.
Yeah.
The desync.
Yeah. I agree.
Because
I
it's
agree.
kind of hard when you're trying to move as a team and do things as a team, and the person in front of you is not really in front of you.
Just standing there walking in place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Like
Oh.
if that could get addressed at some point somehow, probably with server meshing, most likely, I feel
Yeah.
like that would do leaps and bounds for combat.
Yeah, I agree. Because I have been shot multiple times because of desync. And I have shot people multiple times because of desync.
I think everybody has, but that was I was reading a report recently about the Evocati patch, and they asked people in the Evocati to set their spawns to Orison, and they were like heavily focused on stability, like server stability or something like that. Like they were doing something with that. I don't remember exactly what was being said, and I'd have to go back and read it, but I'm not doing that right now. But So they are working on it, and that's a good thing to see. Like, I was really happy to actually see that they were kind of focusing on that during an Evocati patch, and I'm pretty sure that they do it a majority of the time anyway. It's just, it was nice to hear is all I'm basically getting at.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. Speaking of patches, anyway, let's just go ahead and ask this. What are your thoughts on the current patch? Like, improvement, not so much. What do you think, OG?
Improvement in terms of performance, 100% an improvement. Like before, I mean, no, a lot of people complain about the game, but I personally, besides bugs, my performance has never been like that bad. Maybe I might be lucky, but right. I tend to be quite happy with my performance, even in the low performance areas, like the starting areas on Microtech and New Babbage. Mm-hmm. But when this patch dropped, it's like it's been night and day between last patch and this patch, especially in like the areas like New Babbage that are usually a little slow when you wake up and you get out of your rack. Right now, it's been so snappy for me. It's been like night and day.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
As far as this most recent patch comes, the only issue that I have had is just getting into servers that already have you're formed into a party room. That's the only issue. As far as like we was saying, performance and all that, it has been fantastic. I've had no issues whatsoever, and I think it is another step to greatness.
But you don't know what volumetric clouds are.
I ain't never seen them. Ain't never seen them. Nope.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have the CPU for that. Don't have it.
And you know what? I do have those turned on. I know a lot of people turn those options off, but I turn it on. I try to push it. And if I have a problem, then I'll turn it off.
I go to turn it on. My PC just says nah. Mm-mm.
I have always had volumetric clouds turned on, and I'm almost at the point now to I refuse to turn them off because I'm pretty sure I've said this before. Like, I'm an aesthetic kind of person. Like, when I'm flying into an atmosphere, I don't want to go from, oh, I see fog, oh, I'm through the fog. Like, I want to feel like I'm legitimately flying through the atmosphere. And I guess it's like that's the kind of like in-depth part of the gameplay that I look for. And when, like, I hate flying to the moons because that's exactly like the ones that actually do have clouds here and there. It's just like, oh, there's fog. Oh, no, there's not. And it's kind of like, it's just this little thin layer, and I can't stand it. Like, I can't wait for them all to be turned on. Like, I hope my computer can handle it when all that happens, but I don't know, I guess it's a pet peeve of mine. Maybe I'm just being spoiled. I have no idea.
I'll tell you what, the one moon on Microtech and Turpy, oh man, the clouds on that in that place gets crazy. Because one minute you're flying for the clouds, next minute you're in a mountain.
Yeah.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, I am terrified of clouds because I don't know what's on the other side of them.
That's why you got to scan, man. You got the scan button.
I do that sometimes.
So, Weez.
Yep.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Nope. You're good.
All right. I was just gonna move on to the next part of the conversation, or ask the next question. Yeah. But so taking into the account that you're primarily ground focused and whatnot, what kind of advice or recommendations would you give to new players looking to get into the FPS part of the game?
So, prior to this patch, it'd be harder for me to say this, but with this patch, I've actually been getting into Arena Commander, and I've actually been finding matches and finding people playing, And I think that's probably one of the good places to start if you could actually find people to play with and actually find matches. That way you can get used to the gunplay without the consequence of dying and losing your shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So in terms of for new players who really want to get into the combat aspect of it, and obviously there's more than shooting, there's the tactical and planning and aspect of it, but in terms of the actual shooting part of it and getting good at that and getting used to that, I'll definitely recommend Arena Commander if you could find some people to play with.
Heck yeah. So Weez, as someone who has trained lots of people, what is a quick and easy loadout that you recommend to newer players, and also what is your go-to loadout when you're going to the bunker and fixing to hurt some people's feelings?
That's kind of a hard question because I don't think there is one loadout that necessarily suits every situation. I myself have a few things that I use. So me personally, when it comes to pistols, I always use a Coda. We've done tests on those and we know that's the most powerful. In terms of assault rifles, there's a little bit of leeway there. There's like 3 of them that I primarily like to use, and that's the Gallant. That's the main one that I use. I like the S7. That's a good one as well.
Oh,
and then
Gemini,
Yep. And then the Karna.
So no P4?
The P4 is good. It is good, but it is good. And you know what? All right, I'll tell you this. In terms of the ballistic rifles, the P4 is my favorite.
Okay.
In terms of the ballistic rifles, the P4 is my favorite, but I tend to lean towards the energy weapons more.
Vintage, you can go put your face in a pile of dog shit, so you can just get over what you're with right now. The P4 is a great fucking weapon.
I'm not saying it's
fantastic.
not. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's
Ammo
not something I prefer.
Everywhere for it.
That is the only pro to it.
No,
that's the only pro to it.
If you can aim, Vintage, and you shoot the bad guys will die with the P4. Just as great as the other ones, in my opinion.
All right, S71 versus Gallant.
Gallant.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
I'm partial to the 3-round burst and 5-round.
Does
the S71 even have an alternate fire mode? I've never even tried.
That is a great question. I don't think
I've never even tried. I've always leave on the single round.
I think it's because we don't really find them that much anymore.
Yeah, that is true. We'll have to science that next time we can find one. I know I don't have one. See,
I got one. I'll science it next time I load in.
Yeah. For me, so my loadout is, of course, our normal org attire that we wear is the dust up. I usually have a railgun on my back. Which is
scary.
Which is absolutely fun. In my opinion, there's nothing like standing at the end of the elevator and sending a fully charged railgun shot into the bunker. I think it's just fun.
You're just trying to get a crime stat is what you're trying to do.
That's exactly it. You have to leave life on the edge.
I feel safer with him with a railgun than a rocket launcher, At least the railgun, you gotta charge it up. The rocket launcher, a little love tapping, boom.
Accidental discharge.
Well, Crow has blown my feet off many times with that 3-round burst grenade launcher.
Oh, which one?
It's just the regular.
There's only one grenade launcher.
Yeah, but it shoots it. So I didn't know this because I just recently found my first one. Believe it or not.
Don't tell me it has 3-round burst.
It literally shoots 3 grenades at a time.
Holy shit! I did not know that.
I didn't
Shut
either.
up.
I swear, we can load in right now and I'll show you. So it literally shoots 3 grenades at once, and it is absolutely terrifying.
I did not know that.
Absolutely terrifying. Because I was coming around a corner and I was looking down the hallway because there's an elevator. I was like, okay. elevator doors open, I'm just gonna shoot one in there. Doot, 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 doot. It scared the hell out of me.
But
So
OG, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, you good.
So
Finish.
after the first shot went off, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, then two more came behind it. I panicked and turned. And of course, when I turned, the wall was right there.
You idiot.
So the grenade hits the wall, bounces down at my feet. I'm like, this is gonna really fucking hurt.
Are you sure it wasn't like desync? Or
No.
you've done this multiple times, so like it's 3 round burst.
I went through, I think, 4 or 5 magazines.
Okay. Interesting.
It is, and I don't know why I'm just now figuring this out, because now I'm like, well, dang, I kind of want to carry a grenade launcher more than I want to do the railgun.
Dude, I'm just saying, like we've played this game for a hot minute now, and we're still finding new things out because they're constantly adding or changing or whatever, So I mean, it's not uncommon, but
Yeah,
I can't see why they would have added an alternate fire mode to the grenade launcher to make it a 3 round freaking burst. Like,
I'm not sure. Because I thought the same thing when I found that out. I was like, Crow, is this broken? He's like, no. He's like, that's what it does. I'm like, huh? That makes no sense to me.
See, my loadout is obviously armor and ammo to go along with it, but I'll take my arc light pistol. I don't know why I prefer that, because it's got a larger magazine. The less times that I have to reload, the better. So I'm either rocking.
It does no damage.
Yes, it does. It kills.
It's like
plenty
carrying
of
around
people.
an airsoft gun.
No, it's not.
It's like carrying around an airsoft gun.
I can kill quite a few people. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe y'all ain't hitting your targets. I don't know what to tell you, because
Listen, man,
I've killed quite a few
Crow
people.
did a test. Crow did a test, and he has results, and the results say the arc. Listen, man, and I love the arc light. I think it's a badass looking gun. Mm-hmm. But I had to follow the test, man, and the test says quarter rifle from 80 meters, kaboom, you're dead.
I don't care.
See, I know what it is. So it's a vintage. How many bullets is in a magazine for the arc light pistol? 14, 13? 32. Okay. So out of that 32 round magazine, how many of the shots do you actually hit?
A lot of them. Are you trying to find out what my accuracy is?
You sure?
You trying to find out what my accuracy is, aren't you?
Well, see, what my thinking of it is, you run the arc light because you can't use Dakota, because within the 6 rounds that you get with Dakota, you can't hit anybody.
Oh.
All right.
He's getting technical on you.
I'll remember that next time we're in a bunker together.
That's fine. I'm going to have a grenade launcher and a railgun on my back. We'll both die. We will both die. I will blow both of us.
Weezy's like, I'm not coming with this. I'm not going.
He's like, not in my event, you ain't.
Not gonna lie though, 32 round mag, that is a lot of ammo.
That is a lot.
Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, that is a lot.
It's almost like a drum magazine, in my opinion.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, so, like my backup magazines, right? I'll have one obviously in the gun itself, and then one stored on my hip, and then like 5 more in my backpack. I never run out of the ammo because, again, you will find arc light ammo in the bunkers. You will also find Gallant magazines in the bunker as well. So I don't know. I prefer
So you
the
got the
Gallant,
Arclight.
which I hardly ever
Gallant,
have to
that's-
use. Yeah. I mean,
I
it's just,
prefer
I don't
snaggle sticks.
know. We know you prefer
hear you.
snaggle sticks.
Pull a snaggle
But,
stick out, take a bite of it,
That's,
hit him right in the forehead.
You want a snaggle stick?
Yeah, snaggle stick.
But yeah, and I mean that's it. Like that's, I have a primary, I have a secondary, and then I have my knife if all else fails.
I'm just picking with you, man.
I
understand.
know
It's
you
okay.
are. I don't care. It's fine.
You want some nipple?
No, ew.
Okay.
Not yours anyway.
Worth a shot. Worth a
But
shot.
I'm surprised none of y'all said anything about popping an orange pin.
Oh, well, we were talking loadout, so I was.
That's part of it,
I
isn't it?
only. I only. All right. So if we wanted to go into the real, all right. If you want to know my real loadout, all right. So if you open up my backpack, you will see a med gun.
Mm-hmm.
You will see a tractor beam.
Yep.
You will see a oxy cutter.
Yep.
You will see 5 bottles of water.
Okay.
You will see 5 protein bars.
Okay.
And then you will see 5 Gallant rifle mags and also 5 Cuda mags. And then you will see 5 med pens, 5 quarter pens, and 2 extra refills for the med gun.
Okay. You're fully loaded bag, pretty much.
When we go on ops in terms of like standard stuff besides guns, that's what I'm rocking. Oh, 2 grenades, one flare, and a knife.
Yep. That's basically about the same amount as what I'm rocking. Maybe not quantity wise, but I mean, as far as like the diversity of the loadout, yeah. Like so that way I'm ready for just about anything. I also started packing the salvage tool and a couple of canisters for that, just in case for whatever reason I do need to grab some so I can patch the hole or something like that. I've done that as well. Because I mean, there's always ships laying around outside bunkers, so.
Yeah, I had no idea about that till a couple weeks ago.
318 was when they brought it in.
Yeah,
just nobody could log in at first.
Yep.
No one could use it.
Right.
But that orange pen, though, so what I'll do is on my body, on my person, I'll have, well, at least on dust up because it lets you hold 4 in that slot. Yeah. I'll have 3 med pens and 1 orange one.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I've never used the orange pens.
So we're actually going to talk about this with Crow, but you've been to his medical training things that he's done in the orange.
No, I know what they do and all that, but me personally, I've never went out of my way to keep them.
Well, for the ones that don't know, just quick little lesson is it helps reduce impacts on the body, which can lead to tear injuries. So,
bananas,
yeah.
It's like a pre-workout.
Yeah, like a pre-workout.
you're smelling salt before you go lift.
So,
but OG. Oh, my bad. I just wanted to say about OG real quick, though. But that's what I was saying in regards to loadout and, like, it not fit in certain scenarios. Because, like, I know, personally, I never really have to bring a railgun with me because I know you always have one. Yeah. And then I never bring a grenade launcher with me because I know Crow always has one.
Exactly.
And then I never really bring a sniper rifle with me because I know either Vintage, Cloak, or Demias is gonna have one.
Yeah,
maybe.
So,
and I think that's probably the coolest thing about when we do your events, your Tactical Tuesdays. We don't really need to say, hey, bring this, or hey, bring this, or hey, you bring this. We all kind of just bring a mix of a little bit of everything, and there's really not much that we can't conquer when it comes to the Tactical Tuesdays. I mean, it is.
I mean, they've pretty much been successful events, thus far. And I don't see why that would change. But, I mean, we're also talking about a majority of the time we're messing around with veteran players, and people that have been playing together for, quite some time now, too, as well. So, I mean, we kind of just would know the play style. And don't get me wrong, like, we brought in new people, and we've kind of showed them the ropes, and they kind of get the vibe, and they check that at the door and everything like that and whatnot. And they reciprocate that. So, I mean, it's great, but it's... Like, as far as, like, how we actually play, I mean, it always tends to work out, and we always usually are prepared for just about any kind of scenario.
Yeah,
for sure.
But, in regards to combat overall, what's one of the things that you would hope to see that hasn't been mentioned, or is there something just in general that comes to mind, like that you would want to see like come to combat as a whole, like maybe whether it's been aforementioned by CIG or just something you've had in a passing thought that's like, oh, that'd be really cool if we could add this to the game, kind of thing.
I mean, yeah, 100%. And, I don't know when this is going to come. It's been talked about. I don't know if it's going to come as part of this. I don't know if it's going to be like a separate package or what. But that theater of war, I need that in my life. I need, like, Star Citizen big team battle. We got tanks. We got freaking light fighters. Yeah. I need that. I need that, TM. Like a Star Citizen big team battle, capture the flag. I need that.
So what did you say, theater of war?
Theaters of war, yep.
So can you explain that for everyone? And myself?
Yeah, Weez, you want to go into that?
So I believe I've only briefly looked into it. There hasn't been too much information. I believe there's only one video that they really talked about it in, but it's supposed to be a different game mode, kind of like how you have Arena Commander, and it's supposed to be a different game mode that's like a big team battle, so like big war battle. So have you ever played like Halo or like Battlefield? Yeah. Where you have like the big battles where you have like the tanks and the raves. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That was the analogy that I was going to use if you didn't. But yeah, it's basically like Battlefield, whatever, and you can get in a plane or a fighter or a tank, some kind of ground vehicle or whatever, and it's basically just team v team, but it's in a big area, and it's a war zone. Right. So so basically their name for it, though, from our understanding, is it's just called Theaters of War, but it's a game mode, which I don't know if like that particular type of game mode, because they've talked about 320 having all like the Arena Commander updates and everything like that's primarily the sole purpose of this patch, is what I'm guessing, for 320 is just to be Arena Commander. I don't know if that game mode is actually going to be in there. I know they're going to have other game modes. I believe they're trying to get what they call experimental game modes, so they're going to be like LTMs, like limited time modes, to where it's they want to test something, and so they'll put it into that, and if it gets a lot of traction, then it'll become like a regular thing that you can play. But primarily its focus is going to be, we need to test this certain aspect, and so they'll put it into a game mode, and people go in there and they'll get their feedback that they need. Because originally Arena Commander was supposed to be that test bed for CIG outside of like Evocati and PTUs, as far as I understood, or as far as I've been made aware. So I could be wrong. Tell me in the comments.
Well,
more than likely.
No, I think you're right. I don't think it's going to be coming out anytime soon, because I feel like there's just so much other things that they probably need to focus on. And I feel like there's probably a lot of other things that need to fall into place in order for that to be successful. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it for quite some time, but I'm optimistic.
Well, I know... Yeah, like I know, like Theaters of War is probably not coming, but I know that they're already talking about like they're bringing in like the Good Doctor or something like that. It's a map. And they're going to have like your basic TDM, and I think like a capture the flag or gosh, what do they call it in Call of Duty, where you got the 3 points and you go and secure
domination.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I was having a brain fart there, but anyway, so I know they're having that kind of stuff. They're bringing a lot of stuff to, like they're adding new race maps and bringing in a lot of that stuff in, like Snake Pit and the one that's over on Daymar now. They're bringing, and Miner's Lament, like that's actually going to be in Arena Commander, as far as I know, this 320 patch whenever it drops.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to go and do that stuff, and then the whole new revamp for Arena Commander and everything like that, and private matches. That is a thing.
That is gonna be.
I'm excited for that because, and primarily for Wheezy, because when he does his Tactical Tuesdays for the org and whatnot, he can start using that for when we do like these team battles or whatever. If we have enough people that actually show up when they say they're interested. But anyway, no jab to anybody there. But so
Means what
anyway, he can utilize that and do like a 4v4, which will be very helpful instead of having to worry about getting everybody set together and shipping out and whatnot. But anyway.
Yeah, so you see, I would love if we could get like at least if they gave you the option at least to make it like 6v6. That'd be great.
That is supposed to be in the 320 patch, if I'm not mistaken. The private match, we were calling them private matches. CIG's calling them something else, but tomato, whatever. But you know what I mean. So I think 320 is going to be good for you as far as when it comes to running your events and whatnot.
Yeah, and just for training in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a very nice touch when you're training our newer guys and things like that. I think that's going to be awesome.
I guess we touched on. What were you going to ask, OG, when you tried to interrupt me earlier?
You had to throw me out like that. So as far as all the new things that are supposed to be coming to Arena Commander's next coming patch, what are you most excited about, Reese? Because I know I am excited about one thing, extremely excited about.
What's that?
Wait, what is that?
First. So I am ready for the gunfight mode.
Oh, the gun battle, yeah.
Call of Duty. Okay, I come from Call of Duty. Gun game was my go-to. Didn't matter what day of the week it was, I would play gun game. So that is my shit. Good.
I want Tom Royale.
I'm excited for that too, but I am extremely excited for the new gunfight game mode. I think that's just going to be good drunk fun, to be completely honest with you. That is what I am planning on doing. I am planning on drinking, shooting.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the same. But to all of that, and mostly just looking forward to the changes in general, and just seeing more people actively taking part in Arena Commander. Because I feel like if they could pull that off and really make that part of it thrive, they might start attracting audiences that might start messing with the game just for that.
Exactly.
You know?
And I think with the new menu changes, I think that is going to be something that 100% happens, in my opinion.
I like the fact that they're incorporating it into one. Like, you don't have to go to the race or the Arena Commander or anything like everything is just right there and you can hop. I think that was a great idea and a great change.
Too. I think I am super. It's going to make it enjoyable because, we would try Arena Commander a bunch and we would either couldn't get our ship or couldn't get the right stuff or couldn't get the right map, couldn't get the right mode just because it's all too cluttered right now, in my opinion, until this next update comes out. Hopefully, I think all that's going to go smoothly.
I honestly stopped playing Arena Commander because there was a few times that we would try to get in there and just do like Pirate Swarm or something simple.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to grab the ship that I own, like not only in the PU, but also like Pledge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to change a few things out. And then it's like, oh, you can't have your ship. And I'm like, that's like, and I know it was a bug, but it was frustrating because it was like, I would really like to use what I want. And I didn't have the ability, and then I would lose those rental credit things or whatever they're called, the RECs. And I don't know. I just got to a point where I was like, I'm not even going to mess with this until the new update for Arena Commander comes out, because they were talking about it for a little bit, and I was just like, I'm not even going to bother with it right now.
Yeah, I remember me and you we were trying to play the just do some Star Marine stuff, and I remember so vividly. I would do my whole class, spend 10 minutes doing the whole class because just the drop down boxes are just too many of them. And then it gets confusing because you go to put this on this and it's turned out it's vice versa. It's just confusing. And I would never get the weapon that I would pick. I would always get something different every single time. I just didn't get it. So I'm super excited about that. Gunfight, I'm super excited. They also talked about some new weapons possibly being in it.
That'd be cool too.
Which one?
For sure.
I don't remember which one's off the top of my head, but the video that I was watching, they were talking about how the new gunfight mode is going to tease some new weapons.
You gonna have to link me that video. I want to watch that.
I'll link it. It's a video you actually sent me, I believe.
And the thing about it is that the FPS in Star Citizen, it actually is quite unique. Because, I mean, it's immersive because there's nothing on the screen. All you have is your little ammo counter on the side. And, on the bottom. And then on top of that, there's...
right?
There is no there are no crosshairs.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, there are none. So it is quite unique, and there are a lot of people that like FPSs like that. So I definitely think if they can pull it off and have that be like a big part of the game, I think that's definitely going to attract a whole new audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think it's going to be a really good change.
I'm excited for it. I'm not overall thrilled with the lack of content in the PU side, but I know that they really need to get this part of it out, and I know that some of the content that they're still wanting to bring in is kind of dependent on some other tech finishing up. So I get that. Frustrating, don't get me wrong, and I made a comment on Spectrum actually earlier today, and I was like, I would much rather than take them I can't even talk now. Oh my god. I would much rather them take their time to get it right than to rush something out the door that is basically boboed, and just kind of put together. Like I would, that's what I want. Like, do I want the game to get finished? Yes, absolutely. I want the game to get finished, and I want to have a finished product just like everybody else. But at the same time, when you rush something, you don't get the best quality, and I'd much rather have quality than anything else.
Good work isn't fast. Quality work isn't cheap.
Nope.
Simple as that.
Yep.
And we're waiting anyways,
Yeah.
We're waiting anyways.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's not like we're in a rush. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got one more question, then we're gonna wrap it up. But so speaking of 320 and everything like that, Arena Commander wise, there are a little bit of things coming to the PU, which are some new combat missions. So you got like the consignment missions, cargo, and then even some new reputation stuff coming out too. Weez, what are your thoughts on all those? You excited for that?
Yeah, totally. And once again, it just gives us more things to do. We kind of spoke about this a few days ago, Vintage, but like we can only go down to a bunker so many times, and
Yeah. I agree completely.
They all look the same, so it's like
right.
It's like, oh, this one goes downstairs, not upstairs. Okay.
Right, and I will say, and I have realized that's kind of partially on us too, because there are other missions that we don't. Yeah. Maybe you guys do, but I feel like we don't really get into those much. Whenever we get on, it's usually just bounty hunting and like mercenary missions. Yeah. But there are investigations and other missions of the sorts that will bring you into combat with NPCs and stuff that we just don't really dabble into much. But still, I mean, it's still pretty much the same thing. You're gonna do those a couple times, and then it's gonna be the same.
Go back to your same bunker that you've been to about 92 times.
Right.
Yeah.
The other day, I was like, man, I'm just gonna deliver some boxes.
So here lately, that's what I've been doing.
Yep.
That's what me and Vintage have been doing. We've been going and I've got every color multi-tool you can think of. I've got it.
I'll tell you,
looting multi-tools, snaggle sticks.
I'll tell you what.
Flavors.
Delivering boxes in Microtech. Have you done that?
Yeah, that's
a bitch, man.
Yeah. It is.
You're going everywhere,
dude. So we do the
it is.
What's the name of that stupid mission that we do?
Delivery op.
Retrieval op. That's what it is. Retrieval op.
Yeah.
And we'll do that, and then we'll go down to like these little outposts or whatever that or nine tails are involved, and go in there and kill the nine tails, and then kill the stupid Cutlass Black that comes in. And then you start looting the place, right? And then most of the time we don't even pick up the box. We just abandon the mission and go to the next one. We just turned into some loot goblins recently, and I don't know why. Because it's like when 320 comes, there's a possible wipe. So it's like, why am I even messing with this? But whatever. It's different and it's fun, so I don't care.
My PT inventory is I've got like 6 pages of snacks and multi-tools and attachments. It is absolutely insane. You leave all the snacks. I get every single one of them. Every single one of them. I don't care what it is.
We're going to talk about this too when we chit chat with Crow. So you'll understand why I leave all the snacks. But anyway.
Yeah. But I will say I will give them some credit though, because they have added that new mission, the Arlington Bounty.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So I'll give them credit for trying to spice it up a bit and sprinkle
trying to make sales, but yeah,
stuff here and there. That too.
Yeah.
But anyway,
heck yeah. So
hey,
at the end.
I was just gonna say, man, I'm only a couple hundred more from Space Marshal, so I still got a couple more hundred to spend.
It's like I'm trying to hit that third one.
But what do you say,
loves you.
So at the end of our show, we have been doing a little routine where I find a crazy Florida man headline news thing and read that off, because everybody likes their good old Florida man now. You know what I'm saying now. It's good old Florida man. So this one here, Florida man who tried to run to the Bermuda in an inflatable bubble, rescued by Coast Guard again. It's easy to see why Florida has a reputation for being so random. Take Rizzy, can't say his last name. For example, he is a long-distance runner who bid to run from Pompano Beach to Bermuda using a hydropod that stays afloat on the water. When the Coast Guard caught up to him, they deemed his plan unsafe and asked if he'd like to be towed home. This was Rezzy's second attempt. Yes, this was Rezzy's second attempt to reach Bermuda, as his first attempt was in 2014, in which he had to be rescued. On the upside, he made it 80 miles before having to be rescued.
Shut up.
Running. So it's a big, you ever seen like the commercials of the kids and that
the big old bubbles.
Ball?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's what this is. He ran 80 miles in the water doing that. That is absolutely insane. You got to
How's
think
he
about
gonna
it.
get back?
He has no idea. He's just doing it. This is Florida man stuff.
That's crazy.
This is Florida man stuff.
Oh my god!
You got to think about it. It's not like running on concrete. You're spinning this big bubble that you have to move it fast enough to get some motion to start moving across the water.
That's work, man. That is straight work, is what that is. But what I like about the news article is that they asked him if he wanted to be towed back.
Yeah.
And it's like, they brought his dumb butt on board. They ain't just gonna hitch a rope to him. But whatever.
I mean, that would be fun. They hitch a rope to him and just drag it back, it'll just be
I won't
bouncing off of the water.
That's the only way I want to be brought back. I don't want you to drag my bubble behind me that I busted my ass making and have ran the past 80 miles in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man, you Florida folk are just a different breed, man. Different breed.
Man,
Don't group me in these. No, don't group me in these.
Thank God I'm not from here.
Neither am I. I just live here. But anyway, that's all for today, folks.
Oh
we
my
enjoyed
goodness.
it. If y'all enjoyed the content, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And don't forget all the other socials where we're at. We're going to be down in the description below. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Have a good one.
Hey, Mini Vintage here. I just want to say thank you for all those that listen to this podcast. It means a lot to me and my dad. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, check the description down below for all our socials. 07 Citizens.
Got no weird shit in the background? It's like stones. Okay, we're good.
I hope not, because I just started the recording. Good thing there's video editing. We're not live, so it's all right, you know. All right, so I don't want to start this off. Oh, gee, you open this up. How about that?
Huh? I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to do this. I know I've heard you do it like 9 times. I don't know how to do it. You can't hit me like fucking 4th or 5th episode in. So hey, you open this up. Can't change it.
What a bitch. What a bitch.
I'm not being a bitch. I'll do it next episode.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Yeah, we will. I think we can pinky promise on it.
Anyway.
That was my win.